All right, welcome to another episode with On Track, and thank you guys so much for watching. We're having Jim Vance from Georgia with us, Georgia in the U.S. I'm in Georgia in Eastern Europe, and we're going to talk about a myriad of things today. We are very similar in our coaching ways of having worked with men globally, both of us, and we're gonna see where this story goes. Thank you so much for coming, Jim.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the opportunity to just talk to you. We've been talking back and forth for probably a year now, so this is a long time coming.
Yep, exactly. So I'm curious, like, what was it that caused you to go into the masculinity sphere?
Oh man.
So let's see if you can manage to do it in a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh man, I would say it was probably because of my own wounded feminine side. I spent a large part of my life operating from nice guy type energy behaviors, overgiving, people pleasing, no leadership, no boundaries, no standards, neediness, just unhealthy attachment to women in general. And when I met my wife's like, I love you, but things have got to change because I want to go this way, and I want you to go with me, but I'm not going to make you. So you get a choice in this matter, but I want you, if we're going to stay together, I need this from you. And it was basically, she just needed a leader. She needed somebody that can, who knew themselves at a high level, who was able to lead themselves, and then doing that consistently, lead the family. And so I went to work. This is probably about 10 years ago. I just went to work on all the things within me. And, you know, I have two daughters. I have my wife, my son. You're around the feminine a lot. You see yourself a lot. And I have a mirror. I have 3 mirrors every day. So I get to check my energy, check who I'm being, check my leadership on a daily basis. And they're quick to remind me, hey, Mr. Masculinity, what are we doing? So
Oh, that's excellent. You know,
yeah.
the reason why I'm smiling most of the time that you're talking is because I have pretty much just a same background story. Is I was in my feminine for my entire youth, coming from an artistic family, with my father having been a filmmaker and my brothers also kind of being in that same industry, my mother being an actress. And so like all of that stuff was kind of, making me theatrical, so to speak.
Yes.
And so I've had the same experience, had a couple of girls break up with me before I got married. Then I found my wife. And then a couple of years after we've been married, she's like, yo, I don't want to divorce you, but like, yeah, it's the same type of spiel that you got.
Yes, that was it. Like, I love you, but shit's got to change here.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And that became, that was actually about 14 years ago now. So
Yeah.
I went to work as well. And so we have a very similar story in that way. It's actually very interesting.
That is cool.
I think a lot of men have that same story, honestly, but not everyone obviously goes in that direction of becoming masculinity coaches like we did.
No, most men face their biggest pain in relationships. They don't face it in business. They don't face it in health. They face it the first time they realize their humanity is when they are with a woman that knows themselves and they're realizing like, oh shit, like I don't know who the hell I am. I don't they just don't know. They've never been taught. They don't know what it means to look at themselves. All they've done their whole life is look outwards. Mm-hmm. And then a good woman requires you to look at yourself.
Yeah.
It is like a requirement. And that's when pain starts to happen for men because they're not used to just taking time to like themselves, respect themselves, appreciate themselves. And, I mean, I don't know if you've heard it. I've heard it 1,000 times. It's like, well, how do I love myself? Like, what does that even look like? And I'm like, oh, we got work to do. Let's go.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So obviously you and I both noticed that we needed to make some changes, and then suddenly you begin to see that, wait, hold on a second. if men become better men, then families improve and society can improve as well. So I don't know about you, but I got this kind of sense of a global mission once I went on this undertaking. Is that kind of a similar experience
Yeah,
you well?
yeah. So I used to teach. I taught for 12 years, and my degree was in political science. So I understood what the government did to the families probably about 60, 70 years ago. They started to deconstruct masculine energy as a way to control leadership within the United States, right? And probably the Western hemisphere, right? Because they realized, like, in order to control leadership, you have to control men. And the best way to control men is to demasculate them.
Yep.
And when you demasculate men, you break up family structure because women can't deal with that. And women become masculine, men become feminine. And when you do that, you disintegrate the family structure. Then you disintegrate like children's ability to grow into their best healthy version.
Yep.
And then you make every child reliant upon women to learn and grow. And it doesn't matter if it's man or boy or girl. And you're getting a one-sided view of life. And some boys start to be raised in a way they don't even know what it feels like to lead themselves. They don't know what it feels like to be purposeful. They don't know what it feels like to be assertive. They don't know what it feels like to like step into their own power because they've never even had an example. Most of their life, there's been an example of the opposite. And they're like, oh, so I just need to be, agreeable. I need to be nice. I need to kowtow to the feminine and make sure they're okay all the time. And we get to where we are right now. We get to these dehumanized people that don't understand interpersonal relationships because all their relationships are based off of appeasing the feminine so that they get love.
Right.
And when they're not getting love, they get angry. And they start pitching a fit like a child. I mean, I say that because that's what I did. So I know.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Totally recognize that. Okay. So I always we were talking a little bit pre-podcast that that I went into this sphere myself, understanding kind of the global picture, just like you've done as well. And what I realized is that if we can help men to become as masculine as possible and to step into their full potential, then we can actually completely pivot from the world we're moving towards and enter into a new brighter day, so to speak, where the future is bright. And I'm just wondering, what do you like? I personally saw entrepreneurship as the path for men to be able to do that, because when you work a job, which I encourage everyone to start with, because I have 5 phases of leadership, I call them. I'll just mention them quickly now, so you can help elaborate on it. But first phase of leadership is allow yourself to be led. So this
I love that.
This is the only feminine stage, but it's also required feminine stage. But this is also the one where you're working a job, or even multiple jobs for that matter, so you can see where your capacity is at. And also, following the leader, following your dad, following, allowing yourself to be led. Phase 2 is lead yourself. And that means, self-discipline, setting goals, getting your habits in, etc. And then you've got lead others, which is being an example for team members or for employees or for, whoever's in your community, your family, members, etc. And then is lead 4 or phase 4, which is lead women. And then phase 5 is lead kids. So that kind of completes the picture. What are your thoughts on this initial?
I like it. And even the first one, I don't even consider feminine. I consider that masculine too. Like the masculine has the ability to entertain the great opinions of other people without making them their own opinions. And that means you have to be willing to be led by other people and be able to understand other people's opinions as a way to learn your own opinion. and challenge your own opinion. That makes you really healthy in your masculine. I like all these. I would just like the learner, right? The first two
Yep.
are learning stages.
Yep.
The third stage is the being stage. Like I'm learning how to be led. I'm learning how to lead myself. Then I'm learning to be the leader by being the example.
Yep.
And then the third two are that's the attracted stage. Like you can only lead women and kids by being the example. You can't force leadership on the women and children. So you have to go through the learner, the being, and then the attractor. Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
I like it.
So if we can use entrepreneurship as a way
Mhm.
to, like, how do you see entrepreneurship as a way to develop more masculinity and get to that attraction stage?
Well, I think here's my view, and it might be a little. I believe in mastering the middle. Here's all right. So here's why we have the problem of like you and I. We started over here, wounded feminine.
Yeah.
Most men's immediate reaction is to do what?
Be extreme.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Both are fucked up. How do we get here?
Mm.
How do we master the masculine and feminine that lies within us to be leaders? Because that's where your true power is as a man. Because when you're getting in a relationship with a woman or when you're leading your children, you can't just be all masculine all the time because then you have no heart, you have no emotion, you have no ability to connect, you have no intuition, you have no ability to create, you have nothing. So therefore you can't be an entrepreneur, right? So in order to be a true masculine, you have to be the master of the middle, meaning you have to learn to dance. Sometimes you will be led, sometimes you lead. Sometimes you need to be emotional, sometimes you need to be assertive. Sometimes you need to be a planner, sometimes you need to be a creator. It's being able to be in the middle and do that dance, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, knowing what you need to learn, knowing who's good with you. Because sometimes having, like my wife is an absolute, the most structured human on the planet. We run 3 companies together.
Okay.
And so like, hey, when I want something planned out, I go to her. Like, she's like, I'm like, okay, like I don't even understand this shit. I'll draw it on the board. It looks like the craziest mind map on the planet. And she's like, I don't understand this. But it's your ability to dance and not make it mean anything because you have feminine energy. Feminine energy is part of who you are. It's the duality of all humans. Men that have feminine have the ability to connect to the feminine. Men that have masculine have the ability to connect to the masculine. It's your ability to move and feel your way through life, knowing when versions of you are required, when other versions of you are not. If you want to connect with a woman in her feminine energy, or when she's super emotional, you can't be super masculine because you're going to be so fucking disconnected that she can't trust you.
Right.
It's like, how do I get from my head to my heart and allow that to be the place I lead from? And like, is that middle in entrepreneurship? Absolutely. I think about me as a leader of my business and being able to push. But then I'm able to receive, allow people to invite me to do things, allow people to give me money, allow people to ask me to coach them. That's not me making them do shit. Like I'm not leading them. I'm receiving their ask. That's a feminine energy. Right. So in order to be a true entrepreneur, you got to be the person that pushes and the person that leans back. Like I got to lean back and receive. I can give all the information in the world, but if I don't allow money to come in, my information is just information. And I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm just a teacher.
An entertainer in that case as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it's the mastery in the middle. I mean, I love the idea of spending most of my time in the masculine, but I know having a family of 3 kids, 3 teenagers, I know having my wife being a powerful woman, like there are times when I need to be more heart-centered than I am head-centered.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. Yeah. So what is there on my channel, just to kind of keep you a little bit up? I've been speaking about voluntary celibacy for quite some time, in terms of just in the early days of your business journey and money-making experience, just for the purpose of building a foundation to stand on and going through some rejection previous to getting, you know, hitched and finding women to join your path. What are your thoughts on the benefits or cons of that?
I know there's physiological benefits. Here's what I spiritually, anything you deny in yourself grows bigger in yourself. It becomes the focus of your life. And so if I'm spending most of my life denying myself the thing that I am, then my whole focus of my life is the thing that I am, and I have to spend all of my energy trying to keep that at bay.
Interesting.
And so if I'm constantly saying I need to be voluntarily celibate to make my mind more clear, that means that I'm saying that who I am as a man is not good enough to just have a clear mind, to be focused, to be disciplined. That's not, and when we deny that part of ourselves gets bigger. Just think about, and I use the most extreme examples, say Catholic Church. They deny, they have voluntary celibacy.
Right.
Until the point where they rape boys. Because they're denying the thing that they are, and the thing that they are grows so big in their head that they can't keep it under control.
Right.
Right. And so the purpose of voluntary celibacy is to have a clear mind and be more disciplined. Why don't you just create a clear mind and create more discipline without denying who you are as a human? Like, your sexual proclivity has nothing to do with if that's the only focus of your life and you're making it your focus by voluntarily becoming celibate, then what are you saying? All you are is your sexual proclivity?
It's an interesting angle. I'm looking at, let's say I have a 15-year-old.
Yes.
And obviously I'm directing him more towards productivity and entrepreneurship and
absolutely,
you know, passion and skills, etc. And I'm just wondering if it's wise to send him in that direction of women at this age, or even 18 for that matter, before he's built up a foundation.
A foundation of what?
A frame.
A frame of what?
A foundation of knowing who he is as a man, and his ability to create and to stand on his own 2 feet. Of knowing who he is before he starts engaging with women or the feminine.
So denying your sexuality is a way to make yourself more manly.
I think there's a period of time for that. I mean, this is what I did, by the way. I was a missionary for 2 years.
Okay.
When I was 19 to 21, and we had
I respect that.
No interaction at all during that time.
And I respect that. It's how do you allow the feminine, if you understand the feminine energy is the driving force for masculine leadership.
Absolutely.
So how do you allow interpersonal relationships with the feminine to create the masculine within you and create your own frame? Because if you try to create a frame of masculine without a feminine being present, guess what you have to do when the feminine becomes present? You have to learn a new frame, because you don't know how to function with a feminine.
Interesting.
You will fold in their fire. I don't care how big of a man you are. I tell men this all the time. They're like, do I need to get unmarried so I can become a better man? No. Your wife will make you a better man if you allow her energy to lead you in this learning your own frame as a man. If I teach you how to be a man outside of a relationship, I'm going to have to teach you how to be a man inside of a relationship, because you don't know how to do. They're two different things. Your frame outside of a relationship can only function with yourself. Your frame inside of a relationship can function with other people. And so you have to be able to understand, like, the feminine will crumble your frame if you don't know how to stand with the fire of a feminine.
Would you say that you can get that from just business in general? Because like most people are feminine, right? So when you're interacting with people, you will expect, like, you will experience the feminine in action on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
At least been my experience. So it's like it's not a vacuum where you are just in your frame, solitude, by yourself all day, every day, doing your own thing, you know, and not interacting with anyone.
But if you're not interacting with females in their feminine,
from a romantic perspective,
in a romantic perspective, you're not going to understand how to keep a masculine frame in an interpersonal relationship with a woman.
Okay.
Because the woman will murder your frame, destroy it, crumble it like a cracker, just like that, because you don't even know. Most men don't understand the fire that the feminine can hold. And so they come in it with this idea, I'm a man, until a woman says, pop, and you fall right apart, right on the floor.
Interesting. So what do I tell my 18-year-old?
18-year-old. I mean, what would your goal is to do what for him?
Well, I mean, hopefully I've prepared well and been an example for many, many years. And to make sure he has the skills and the abilities to succeed out there. That's people skills is one of the biggest things that I'm teaching.
Yes. That's the most important skill there is.
Right.
Is the skill of people. So by making him or asking him or pushing him toward voluntary celibacy, what is the goal and desire of you as his dad?
Well, I don't look at it as pointing him so much in that direction, as I look at it as in many ways building two businesses at the same time.
Okay, explain.
So when you're wanting to, I'm a big proponent of financial foundation. And well, what is a financial foundation?
Yeah.
You could argue what that is. You know, it could be having learned to spend less than you earn.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You know, like if you've mastered that one, amazing. You know, that's step one. Number two is learning how to sell, right? People skills, learning to actually be able to convey a message to someone who is the person you're looking for, and then create a win-win situation where they give you value back for the delivery of service you render or product.
Absolutely.
And like those two things, just that takes time, takes effort, takes skill, takes a development curve. And then you take and I'm just using this as a kind of an example of this is business. Yeah. And then I look to the other direction, which is like, these are all these nice honeys over there. And you might not want to get married right away. And so if you are going to go in that direction, then that's going to be a whole nother ball game that you have to do at the same time as you're trying to build your financial foundation. I just look at it as two different businesses that they can work together hand in hand, but it's better to create momentum first in one and then momentum in the second later. So I'm not saying 5 years.
No, I mean, I respect that. I mean, I could see that viewpoint 1,000%.
Right.
And
well,
what if he never gets momentum in one?
Well, I mean, it's impossible to not get momentum in business if you are following correct strategies.
Some people aren't made to do business.
Well, I mean, he is my son, so it is.
Yeah. True, but like I'd say like my middle daughter, she's made to do what I do.
Okay.
My oldest daughter, not one chance in hell.
Right. Okay.
Not even an actual idea in her mind.
Right. Okay.
She wants to work for somebody. Like that's her goal.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. And
Yeah.
she's 18 or she's about to be 18. So it's the idea of separating the two. Like, can you turn off you being in committed relationships for 4 or 5 years and just focus on your business? Yeah, I mean that works. It does. And you're delaying the progress of his own relational capacity. So then in 4 or 5 years, he's going to fuck up a lot and hurt and probably destroy his business in the process.
But is that
Because
necessary?
it's not necessary, but just trust me. I've coached about 1,000 men, and a lot of them do this. Millionaires do this a lot.
Right. Right. Yeah.
They do this a lot. They get really good at making money, and they're like, "Oh, I need to have a woman," and they don't even know what that means, and then they lose everything.
But they come to you after they've lost everything, though. Right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I'm just saying we're talking prevention here. You know, we're talking we're helping.
So
guys.
the preventative nature would be to how do you teach him balance? Because you're teaching him be all business all the time, which will destroy a relationship. It will destroy a relationship. Trust me. A man that focuses only on production will destroy his relationship because a woman don't give a shit.
You mean the future relationship?
Any relationship with a woman.
Right. Okay.
And so if all he can do is focus on making money, he's already 12 steps behind a marriage. Because a marriage does, yeah, you can make money, but it doesn't get you a marriage. It gets you problems.
I'm very curious.
But I make all the money, baby. Yeah, but I haven't felt you in 6 years.
Right.
I have a guy right now, he makes 100 million a year right now. Literally 100 million a year. And his wife came to him and is like, I feel like I haven't known you in 12 years. And they agreed to build a business together. He just built it.
Mm.
And she was just there. He never showed up to be her husband. He showed up to be the head of a business.
So, but he had the woman in his life already. Well, I mean, we don't have to go into the details.
Yeah.
But just in general, I see your point, and it's not the aspect of necessary. Like, you have to make some money in order for you to have a good footing.
Absolutely, I agree with this. I'm 1,000% like make all the money in the world you want to make. Also, learn how to relate at a high level at a young age so you don't fuck it up. Because if you make a lot of money, this is my viewpoint. I live in the United States. In the United States, the divorce rate's about 65%. So if you make a lot of money and you suck at relationships, guess what happens to your lot of money? It gets cut in half. So therefore, you got to start over the process again.
I'm wondering if the reason why I'm looking at it from a different angle than you is because, like, I look, when people start working with me, one of the things, I don't say this to them, but I want to tell them that I can guarantee that they won't get a divorce. Because it's like there's a certain principles that that you just need to abide by, and if you abide by these, she's not going to leave you, dude. But I can't guarantee this from a product perspective,
100%.
But just in general, if you apply the principles, like it's like how on earth did she divorce you? And so I'm saying this because if, like, just using my son as an example again, but if he was to be taught these principles and he believes in these principles, then he could postpone the aspect of the female a couple of years until he set himself up, and then learn the skills and the mindsets of a female nature, like as he starts that business.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. I don't want him to Here's what I don't want. Men suck at relationships. We suck at it because we're not taught how to do it at all. And I would say 95% of men get into a relationship and they don't even know what the fuck to do. They just like, what do I do with my hands? I don't know. And all they think about is like, I just give you everything I got. Well, that's not a relationship. That's an overgiver. All right. And so it's how do we teach men how to be good relators? This doesn't have to be with women. Like how principles of good relationships go in business and interpersonal, romantic, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely. And when you get in a relationship with a woman, there's a whole new set of principles because emotions get involved, and men's emotional ability to process emotions and having their emotional nervous system under control in the feminine's presence will fuck you a lot.
Right.
Yes.
So what do we suggest to I like where we're going in terms of the young guys, because those are the guys, right? 18 to 25-year-olds, or at least that's what I've been doing in the past. I'm pivoting with my channel, moving towards working with YouTubers and how to monetize outside of YouTube.
Nice.
But so this will be a great wrap up of my
I like it
era. But what do we tell the guys who don't want to sleep around, who don't want, like, who believe in saving sex for marriage, for example, or for
that was me. Don't sleep around.
Fantastic. Okay, so just dating women.
Yeah, learning yourself through women is an amazing practice. I call it conscious dating. Okay. Like know what you're looking for, but be open to know what you don't know.
Right.
And be able to ask, like, there's a difference between head questions and heart questions.
Okay.
Right. So a head question is, this is what most men do when we communicate. We do head questions. We do information gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, what are you doing today? What's this? What we got here? What we going over here? We got this. All right, what are you doing? Do. Information, decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to the feminine, you got to have, and your children as a father, you got to be more in the heart-based questions. How do you feel? What's bothering you today? I can sense your energy's off. What brought that up? Tell me more about that. And you're trying to dig into the bottom of their heart instead of the top of their head. And if you learn how to do that in business, you unlock everything.
Right.
Because most business owners are head-based questioners. What's your name? What's your address? How much money you make? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Here's my product. Buy it. Right. I don't know. I get approached about this shit all the time. I'm like, hey, can I sell you this? Do you know me? No, I don't.
Yeah. Right.
Ask me some questions.
Yeah.
Ask me some questions. But no, I think teaching men how to communicate at a high level, I think that's probably the best skill to learn. How do you communicate?
Yeah.
Like legitimately from your heart, and being able to do both. Like head questions are important for business and moving a business forward. You got to get information, make decisions, move with speed. Heart-based questions move with slowness. Like slow is pro with heart-based questions. How slow can you move with emotions? Because emotions move really fast. So how fast can you slow down?
Mm-hmm.
That kills men because men dance around when emotions get high. Men start to freak out. They're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. What do I do? Let me get this off. And it's like, how fast can you slow down and just be in the energy of an emotion without it making it mean anything about you? I think that's a big one. Like young kids, especially young boys, I'd say like my son's 15. So I work on this so much because he's a quiet kid. So everywhere we go, I make him go talk to everybody. Everywhere. Because I'm a talker. Like I go and communicate with everybody on the planet. It's just what I do. And and he's not. So I'm like, hey, we go to the gym together. I introduce him to like 25 people. How do you know this many people? Because I talk to people.
Oh,
And so the next time he's like, hey, how's it going? He just shakes hands and he's got his chest out a little bit and he feels a little bit better about himself. But it's
there you
like, how do you get them to understand interpersonal relationships is probably the driving force for your success in life. And it's not this thing. It looks good. You can't communicate with people through this thing. You can't connect with people through this. Like you're connecting with a screen and not with a human.
go. Right.
And it takes the humanity out of relationships. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My 15-year-old son, your 15-year-old son, both are shy. And
Smart is all like blows my damn mind.
right. Yeah.
I'm intelligent, but I look at him, I'm like, you're off the charts. Like not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like just not normal. I'm like, it's just not normal. He just like, I'm in this math class. The teacher wrote a question on the board. I just answered it and walked away. She got mad at me. I'm like, why? Because I didn't show my work. But it was a stupid question. The answer's too easy to show work. So he just does that.
So what do you teach him about women and dating and all that stuff? You're just kind of allowing it to happen as it unfolds?
In him, he hasn't even gotten to that stage yet. So
Okay.
I'm doing more his own self-exploration. Right?
Are you homeschooling your kids? Because I
No.
am. Okay. No.
I'm not. We thought about it. The community I live in, I used to teach in this community. The high school they go to is really solid, like tops in Georgia. I used to teach there. I was top 2 in the country as a teacher for like a 10 years straight at this one school. So the guys that are there, the girls I know them, they're all good people, like good teachers. They're there to teach. They're not there to top down. Oh my God. Yeah.
Heard about that.
No, so but also they get an education. Me and my wife are both coaches, so we talk about a lot different things than they learn about. And so my youngest daughter, she's going to end up doing what we do. She's brilliant with people. And so my oldest 2 are into the dating scene, 16 and 18.
Yeah.
And so we spend a lot of time on understanding the masculine and then how to communicate, how to spot red flags, how to have standards for your own self, with your own body, with your own emotions, your own feelings. How do you deliver those out? Who do you give them to? How do you trust those decisions? And so they've gotten really. My youngest is super discerning about guys in general. So she's like, oh, he's super feminine. I can't deal with it. Like she just walks. That's when she comes in. She's like, I went on a date and he's just very feminine. And I told him like, hey, I'm going to need you to be more of a leader. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, probably so, because he's 16. He doesn't understand that. And she's like, well, I guess I'm going to be single until I'm like 25.
Well, I mean, yeah.
my oldest daughter's the same way too. She's just like, these boys don't get it. Like,
well, I mean, it's also difficult when you come from a family with someone who does get it. You know what I mean? Like when you have parents and they taught their kids properly, it's like, yo, you know, there's a
high standard. And they're very, and when they fall off it, like, because my youngest daughter this summer, she went on a date with like 2 guys that even get close to her standard. And as soon as she come home, she goes, I am sorry. I don't even know what I was thinking. I was just seeing if I could challenge my own standard. And she goes, I can't. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. I'm like, hey, but that's too, like, that sovereignty and that autonomy allows them to learn. Like if you teach them standards and then they go and try to challenge the standard, they realize real quick the standard's real.
Yeah.
Like, hey, okay, I may think I know, but I just got proved that I don't. This is what I do know. This is real. Yeah.
So in terms of the, I mean, it would be great if this was taught in middle school, right, or high
Oh
school.
my God.
You know, like if we could help the world understand that men, you know, boys need to become men, and women, you know, it would be nice
Yes.
if they can remain in their feminine. Like,
God almighty, yes.
how do we bring that about? Because, you know, we're facing a world where that is just increasingly toxic, you know, with quotation marks.
It's
Um,
terribly toxic, yes.
right, where it's kind of the healthy antidote for whatever's out there. What do we do? How do we bridge that gap, in your opinion?
Man. I think I think families need to get back to raising their kids instead of systems raising their kids. I think that's an important thing. Um, I think we've gotten over reliant on government systems to create parenthood for children and babysitting for children. And I mean, I don't know how Georgia is, but Georgia over here, some of the shit that they come up with, I'm like, I don't even know where you're thinking from. I don't even know what pot you're thinking out of, but this isn't what my kid needs to know
Right.
at all. Right. And so I think that's a big one. Over reliance on government structures. I think too, there has to be a press toward like human education instead of education about books all the time. Like
Right.
how do you educate the human to be emotionally intelligent, good at communication,
Yeah.
um, interpersonal relationships, how to look at what purpose is within them,
Right.
personal development, what is a mission in your life, right?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
kind of things, like educating a full human instead of individual pieces of a human that you might be somewhat good at. Like I might be good at math, I might be good at history, I might be good at writing, I might be good, but that's just pieces of things I can do instead of building a person. We're focusing on the pieces that divide us into pieces. Like,
Mm,
oh, you're good at math, we're going to put you with the nerd that's a math over here.
right.
But like if I was just to educate a bunch of humans, right, I could make you well-rounded in a lot of things and you would be more productive in society, I think.
Mm,
Because people are going to move toward the things that interest them anyway. Like math people are going to move toward math shit, right?
yep.
Speaking people are going to move toward things that allow them to speak. It
Yep.
just is what it is. But if they don't know who to be when they get there, like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't, like your ability to be great at math versus being a great human that does math,
Right.
way different.
Understanding who they are at their core,
Yes,
and yeah, and where,
absolutely.
and helping them to realize that they can go anywhere. It's just that
Yeah.
they have to figure out who they are, what they want.
And
Uh,
two, like I think
yeah.
another big thing that I see, especially in the States, I don't know, like Eastern European socio stat, like social, like politics, but you have to help people recognize there's something bigger than them in the world.
Yes.
There's so much focus on them being the most important, like they are the center of the universe of everything around them, that they can't even stand it if somebody points out a flaw in them.
Mm,
They can't stand it if somebody says, hey, that's not the right thing to do. Hey, that's not right. Like, hey, here's what we need to learn in this scenario. They
right.
freak out. They freak out and like, oh my God, I'm a terrible person. No, you just need to learn. Like
Right.
you're not the center of the universe. You're just out here in it. And so in getting people to be more like the whole versus, and I'm not like socialism or anything like that, but more we're a collective of souls and energy floating around in the universe, and we serve a higher being than ourselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I think people idolize themselves and they put themselves before they do God, and God can never get to them because they've already full of themselves. And so their heart isn't empty enough to allow God in it.
Exactly. It's like a glass of water, and you can't pour it without spilling.
No.
It's
Man,
like,
I have a men's community, and I get in there every day, and I'm like, you need to go pray every day until you wring your heart out so God could put blessings in it. You got so much hatred and anger and resentment and guilt and shame that God can't fill you back up again because you're holding on to the things that are keeping God away. And but you're making yourself the center of your universe. You're making yourself your own God in those. And that's a big thing I see in the States. And I'm like, it's bigger than you. Like, you're just a pebble of sand on this beautiful beach of life that we got.
no man is an island, right? We're all connected in so many different ways. And the more we go out there and start serving other people, the more we forget our own problems. Right?
Yes. Yeah,
so,
and that too. It's fourth thing. Let's add more to the education system. I think the lack of interpersonal relationships is causing people to be so hyper focused on themselves that they can't allow a mistake to just be a mistake. They make it mean that they are a failure at life. They're a shitty person. They're terrible. They need to be taken away, whatever. But if you're if you're in interpersonal relationships, if you're out serving something bigger than you, your little mistake in the grand scheme of your life is just something to learn from, and instead of something to focus on. And so most people are just so hyper focused on what they don't have, or what they're not getting, or what is missing, or what they've been told is wrong about them, that they can't even serve anything bigger than themselves. And they're stuck trying to figure themselves out with the same brain that created the problem of themselves.
Okay, this is great. So let's narrow it down simply for the guy, and we'll just wrap it up, with the next
we could go. I think me and you could talk for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, we're
gonna Joe Rogan podcast this one day.
This is gonna be awesome. But yeah, let's simplify the journey for them. Let's give them one step. The person who is 18 years old, let's see,
yeah,
18 years old, male, just finished high school after this June summer, and he wants to do something great with his life, and he's single, and like, what do we suggest? What should he do?
I always start with one question. It's the most important question. You could put it over every aspect of your life. What do you want? Don't tell me what you don't want. You got a million of those. What do you want? What do you want for yourself? What do you want in your relationship? What do you want with your relationship with God? What do you want in your purpose? What do you want in your mission? What do you want in your business? What do you want? Like, write it down. Like, the clearer your focus is, the easier it is for you to execute. But if you don't know what you want, if all you're doing is say, I don't want a woman like this, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to be like my dad, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to do that because your brain will prove you right every time. And so it's, how focused can you get on what you want? Because once I write out what I want, then I can say, beside it, who do I need to be to create this? Then I can start to create character traits. I can start to look at identities of people that have the thing that I say I want. And I can start to see how they move, how they operate, how they talk, how they carry themselves, what they do with themselves in life, how their marriage is, how they parent. I can start to pay attention. And then from there, it's like, okay, I know what I want. I know people that have that. I know what I need to be in order to do that. I need to start executing on the being. Then the doing becomes normal.
Yeah.
And then the having is just it's gonna be there.
Just happens.
Well, you just take your focus off the end result. Like, so many people, like men are terrible at this. Like we get so focused on getting the thing that we forget what are you doing in the middle? Like this is the mastering of the middle. Like you're over here, you want to get over here. Like if I want to get to Georgia, there's steps to get there. Right?
Yeah.
Like I can't just say, well, I want to get to Georgia. Okay, what do we need? Who do I need to be? What do I need to do to create that opportunity?
Yeah.
And in along that way is huge for guys, young men in general, is when you say, I know what I want, and I take my eyes off of getting there and I just start walking the steps, what I want becomes 32 things. Because there's going to be 32 paths to get to different places that I didn't even think about because my focus is limited by my own perspective. But until I start walking, I can't have new perspectives.
Right.
And as we start to walk this journey, we start to become the man. We realize as I become the man, new opportunities unfold that give me a bigger perspective of what I want. And it's not, and you have to be so disciplined in life that you're willing to fight for the thing that you want without having the thing that you want present. And when you get to that level of, I know what I want and that I know who I need to be, and I'm willing to execute on that every day, what you want becomes bigger without you even wanting more. It just becomes bigger.
It's a natural path. You can hear that you're a mentor and a coach. It's amazing. It's awesome. I love it. I love it.
I love it.
I've been reading the there's a second, or I call it a second book to Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
It's called Hidden Secret of Think and Grow Rich. And it's written by a man named Brian Kim, and he has his four steps to the hidden secret. And number one, and the most important of them all, is burning desire. And that's basically what you've just explained today is if you know what you want, then, and you get clear on that picture, you're creating a vision, and it intensifies by the clarity of that vision.
Yes.
And you just basically beautifully explained it.
Like that's it. Like I know what I wanted to do was to help men. I didn't realize it would be like this. Like I didn't understand it until I started helping men.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh, there's a lot to do here. There's a lot more than this. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to unfold. And two, I think the biggest part of that passion of having clarity and walking the walk is the way I define purpose is probably different than a lot of people. I define purpose as who you become, and I define mission as what you do with the person you become. And so when I define purpose, it's like when I start my walk, I start to unfold who I become on that walk.
Yeah.
And I take that newer version of me into the mission every day. And so every day, my purpose of me becoming bigger and better and more powerful grows, but my mission becomes more powerful too, because I'm taking an improved version into every step.
Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. How can I will wrap up here. How can people get a hold of you?
I'm the.conscious.man on about every platform in America, I think, and the world. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm working on YouTube. I'm trying to get better at it.
Amazing. Awesome.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is. It's a new business for sure.
I kill on TikTok.
Yeah.
So on the Instagram, and YouTube it's a learning process. I like it. I like playing. I'm a creator, so I like playing.
You're going to do great on YouTube. Your thoughts and the things that you're sharing with the world are extremely important. And I'm very grateful to be on this journey with you and sharing this stuff with the world.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you too. Let's see if I will end the recording here.